Salut, we're going to talk about the partitive, and the partitive has to do with food. So if you're hungry right now, stop, go get a bite to eat because this is going to make you hungry. The partitive we use because it basically means part of something, so some. And we've kind of seen the exact same thing, like meaning of the. So let's take a look. Partitive is basically de, which we've seen before, du, of the, right? De la, of the L apostrophe, of the, and des. And we've seen this because we've seen articles combined with de. We remember our articles. You might need to remember these because we do use some indefinite articles alongside some of these partitives when we're talking about food. And then when we have the definite articles combined with the partitives is where we're really getting where's where we're getting the partitive. Okay, so let's do a quick review. Indefinite means and then whatever it is, right? Definite articles means the. The and de combine, like we mentioned. We remember this. And this is where we wind up with, for example, tu fais du sport, or j'ai parlé à Winston des problèmes. And it's because the partitive is basically this that we've seen before. So it's the same, it follows that same structure. So it's going to be easy. Except for instead of just meaning of that, here it means some. And the reason why is when we define food, or we're finding that word for food, it holds more than the meaning of just like strawberries. The word strawberries tells us, like we think instantly like to this batch of strawberries, like this quantity of strawberries. And if we just want one strawberry, the idea of a strawberry is attached to its size, or some strawberries, because normally you don't just eat one. So food itself, when we're talking about food, it has not just the meaning of the thing itself, but the idea of the quantity to which we have. So for example, milk. You're not going to ask for a whole gallon of milk. You're going to ask for some milk. Or maybe even a glass of milk. So some milk would be your partitive. A glass of milk would be your indefinite article, meaning a or one. You can also think about it the same thing with bread. Un tranche de pain. Tu veux un tranche de pain. So you want a slice of bread, not the whole baguette. Well, maybe I could eat the whole baguette. But that's not the point. The point is the baguette is this big piece of bread, and normally when we're talking about this piece of food item, we have this idea in our head how big it is, and when we ask for something, we ask in regards to the quantity that we are going to eat. So for example, with French fries, you want some French fries, not one French fry, unless you have super great willpower, and then please share how you do that. When you're talking about cheese, you're not going to eat this whole big wheel of cheese. You're going to have a slice of cheese. Similarly, with pieces of things, and unless it has that definition of being one, you're going to ask for some of it. So again, some food items have that idea of one, some, and some you have to cut it in half. All right, so again, when we're thinking about food and wanting to ask for something of what we want, we have to think, can it be divided into smaller parts? So for example, when we're asking for something to drink, okay, so is there something I pour into? Does it come in a big thing and I only want some of it? Okay, similarly with cake, normally people cut up a cake and serve it among many people. Granted, this cake looks really small. I bet I could eat the whole thing. So again, you're going to say, I would like some water. Not all of the water, just some water. I would like some cake. Du gâteau. I would drink some juice. And I would take some of the ice cream, because ice cream can come in some big buckets at Aldi's, and probably wouldn't be safe to eat all that. Now, similarly, if it can't be divided into smaller things, then it's got that idea of its quantity. It cannot be broken. No, it can't be broken down. So then we're going to use the definite article here, saying, I'd like a hamburger. Or, do you want a beer? Or, no, I don't want any beer. Notice when it's negative, I have to say I don't want any of it. So here I don't need that partitive or the article. It's just de. Do you want an apple? Because an apple is one thing. A bar of chocolate? Also one thing. Maybe you're talking about you want un tranche de gâteau, like a slice of cake de gâteau, or un biscuit, because cookies come in nice, easy transportable sizes. Or tu veux un verre de lait? So do you want a cup of milk with it? So finally, let's just summarize all this. When we're talking about food, we're probably going to use the partitive and a definite article, because the partitive tells us we only want some of this big thing. So when we're thinking about our food, we're thinking, can I break it down into some? And if so, use a partitive. If not, use an indefinite article. Notice for each of these things, though, I'm going to have to know the gender of the food that I want to talk about. This is going to take some memorization, because if what you're talking about is masculine and you only want some of it, you want du. If what you want is plural, you want des. De and l'apostrophe is for the next word that starts with a vowel, like water, eau, de l'eau. De la would be something that's feminine. Like, je veux un peu de la banane que tu manges pour mon céréal. I'd like a little bit of the banana you're eating for my cereal. Well, I hope that was helpful. Again, remember some. Remember the gender of all these food items. And that sometimes you're going to use the definite article because you want one of them, or maybe two. So maybe some numbers too. All right, if you have any questions, laisse-moi savoir.